On today's episode of the Think Bigger Real Estate Show, I make a big announcement. For those of you that have followed my journey, know that I've been serving real estate agents, probably for the past 2 decades. As previously as a home builder, I supported them in a different kind of way. And then over the past decade, really as a coach, trainer, teacher, author, advisor, etc. I've decided to make a significant change in the way that I serve agents. I'm bringing myself closer to agents than I've ever been before. And I'm thrilled to announce not only a new partnership, but also a way in which I'm going to be going about this is going to be wildly helpful to those that partner with me and my partner. So stay tuned for this episode. I'm excited to share these details that are really groundbreaking for me and for those that we're going to serve. Question is this: how do those of us in the real estate industry with crazy amounts of ambition, how do we think bigger than the building of our own empires? How do we simultaneously seek success and significance, income and impact? My name is Justin Stoddard, and this is the Think Bigger Real Estate Show. All right, welcome back everybody to this week's episode of the Think Bigger Real Estate Show. I'm excited to be with you. For those that are listening live, thank you for being here. For those that are listening after the fact, I'm also glad that you're tuning in to the show. I'll begin by saying this. There has been a line in the sand that has been drawn for all real estate agents. You know what I'm talking about. That the value that was maybe once expected of you, now more is expected. And it's no longer a time to be maybe dabbling or tiptoeing in the industry. Those who are going to get left behind, even run over. So with this being a raised bar, I knew inside that I needed to similarly raise the bar with regards to the level that I could serve you and how close I got to actually being in the trenches with you. So I'm actually going to, part of this announcement today is the fact that I'm bringing on a partner, an incredible real estate agent who has an amazing team. I'm actually going to bring her. She's actually here live with me inside of the Think Bigger studio. So I'm going to invite her to come over now. Many of you will recognize this face. This is Stephanie Peck out of Oregon City, Oregon. Please say hello to the new partner within Think Bigger Real Estate, Stephanie.
Hey.
Nice to see you, my friend. I've had a good chance of knowing Stephanie for probably, I would say, 8 years or so.
Yeah,
quite a while.
All right.
In fact, she's been a guest on this show a number of times, and I earned a deep amount of respect for her at that time, because she was somebody who not only wanted to create a very successful business, but you were somebody who wanted to also have a significant life, which that's actually the whole mission of Think Bigger Real Estate. It's to build successful businesses and significant lives. And so anyway, I'm thrilled to now have this opportunity as we've worked even more closely together here over the past year, that she actually invited me to partner with her in the building out of a real estate organization. In other words, serving agents, not just here in our locale, but across the country, even in other parts of the world. And so I'm pretty thrilled about that, because what I get to do is to take, again, the Think Bigger Real Estate, intellectual property, the training, coaching knowledge that I have, and now team it up with Stephanie and her organization. And I know for me, this is kind of a dream come true, because I always kind of dreamed of serving agents at even a deeper level. And now to team up with somebody as great as Stephanie, as great as she is, selling a tremendous amount of homes, it's really fun for me to know that I can be more aligned and even more helpful to the industry at a time when I believe it needs it most. So Stephanie, let's stop for a second. This is part interview, part just conversation with business partners. Tell me this partnership between you and I, and really taking Think Bigger Real Estate to another level, where it's not just a coaching program anymore. It's really now an agent organization, Think Bigger Real Estate Group. Tell me why you're doing this, right? You've had tremendous success, sold, close to 100 homes a year, over the past number of years, even in tough, so to speak, tough markets. Mm-hmm. What's your passion for this?
Well, my passion for myself and in my business is to do something bigger. And so why not partner with Think Bigger Real Estate? It makes perfect sense. I really want to be part of something more than being as good as my last transaction. And the last transaction has been great, and you're always looking for the next. But I also know that there's something so much more out there. And you've been impacting so many people over the years and impacting me. And I wanted to be a part of that too. And saying, how can I partner with you so that we can impact so many more people together?
I love that. It's interesting. I've had people who have resonated with that mission of Think Bigger Real Estate for a long time, right? Where they've said, I really like this concept of thinking bigger. And yet there were fewer people who said, I love actually what you say it means, which is successful businesses and significant lives, right? So I think for both of us at the heart of this, we recognize that it's not enough just to have success. There are countless ways. I'm sure you've probably gotten, if you're in real estate, you've probably gotten, I don't know how many phone calls today, how many emails today, how many text messages today, promising to get you leads, promising to give you coaching, promising to do all these things to help you have a successful business. And while I'm sure some of them probably work just fine, where Stephanie and I really align and our families are in alignment, right, is the fact that we have a desire to have something bigger than just successful businesses, right? We actually want to impact people's lives in such a way that they have great family relationships, that they have great spiritual relationships, whatever that looks like for everybody, right? That they have, that they're well, that they're healthy, right? Good fitness when it comes to both mental health as well as physical health. And also great financial lives, right? That they actually make great money. And you said something interesting, right? It was just really common for people to have this concept of sell a lot of transactions and also not have anything to show for it, right? They're only as good as their last commission check. Talk to me a little bit about kind of your heart for this partnership in creating significance for people. What does that mean for you, and how can you even like put that into words as to what people should be looking for when they partner with Think Bigger Real Estate?
Yeah, well, what really resonated with me, and when I had that moment of self-reflection and realization, was as a real estate agent, I feel like I own a business, but in fact, I just own a really high paying job. And when I look at what do I own, if I were to walk away from this, if I were to disappear, or if I want to do something else, what do I have beyond just the transaction? Now, the transaction's great and I love doing it, but I'm looking for something that is going to have a lasting impact on my life, on my family's lives, and offer that opportunity to more people. And I believe that when you grow the person, you grow the business. And when you grow the business, you change the industry, which is really what we're seeking out to do.
Yeah, I do believe that that's very much resonates with me as well, Stephanie, is that, there's, as I described before, there's this standard that's raising with real estate agents. Is you used to be able to just get by having people know you and like you. Let's be honest, it's been a bit of a popularity contest. You spoke to this, right? Of how many transactions have you lost to an inferior agent, less experienced, less qualified, less in the trenches doing what you do, but they're doing it why?
I want to help someone out. My sister just got into real estate, or I have another friend that is also in real estate. And I hate to admit it publicly, but I do get the comment, you're so successful and so is struggling, so we want to give the business to that person. And I just think that that is such a crazy way for the consumer to be thinking, because we don't go to an inferior bank. We don't go to an inferior financial advisor or attorney because they're too successful and we want to help someone else out. And I think our industry is having an awakening right now. The consumer is having an awakening right now and realizing that they do have the opportunity to demand more out of their service providers. And they are going to be demanding more. And so how do I be a part of raising up the industry to be able to meet that demand?
Yeah, really well said. It is. I think we all have a heart for people that we love, but when you're dealing with people's largest asset, right? When you're dealing with that thing that will have the most impact upon them financially, it's hard to really tell them that that's a good idea, that they should do that, right? So I think at this time when really real estate agents are being asked to not just know people or have people know them and like them, but really trust them. Not just trust them personally, like, yeah, sure, you can watch my kids, right? But I trust you that you do enough business and you know this industry and you're all in on it, that you can actually help us get the best possible outcome. Like, that's what consumers are saying they want, right? And so at a time when now all of a sudden that's what's being asked of professionals out there, it's time that we, as professionals in this industry, raise our level of value that we're bringing to each other in order to actually deliver upon that, right? You can't possibly have this environment, these circumstances, and not actually be elevating yourself to rise up to that. So let's just go through a little bit here about what is Think Bigger Real Estate, right? People have known it as a podcast for about 9 years now. So thank you to all of the loyal followers. We appreciate you. So that's the first thing is it still will remain a podcast. And my incredible now business partner is going to be helping me to co-host those. There will be times when it will be just me interviewing, as you're accustomed to, maybe even just a monologue at times. But there'll also be times where she and I tag team and we interview people together, and times where she interviews someone by herself. So you're really going to hear a different, and I believe much richer Think Bigger Real Estate podcast now with Stephanie here in the saddle beside me. So I'm really excited about that. I also want you to know, in the past, you've known Think Bigger Real Estate as a coaching organization, right? You've seen it, and many of you have experienced it. And while I have absolutely loved that role, many of you know that I assumed the role of a company called Pro Insight, which is a tech company that serves the real estate space, here about a year ago. And so I kind of set aside almost all of my coaching loyalties in order to pursue that opportunity. And while I continue to pursue that, there's a part of me, of my heart, that says I still want to give back to agents in that way. But I do want you to know that this is not just another coaching offering. This is not, Think Bigger Real Estate is not a coaching organization anymore, right? It's also, it's not just another form of getting leads, right? We hear about those and it's like, oh, I get it. This is another disguised way of selling me coaching or selling me leads. No, it's neither of that. If you wanted to come buy coaching from us, you couldn't get it. Like, we're not selling that.
We're selling nothing.
That's right.
we're selling nothing.
That's 100% right. So if people are asking, like, what is it? Think Bigger Real Estate is a place for you to partner with us as real estate agents to pursue a successful business and a significant life at a time when you need to raise the bar. You're being asked to raise the bar like never before. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I want people to hear, again, the reason that we are partnering together is because you, as the consumer of our content, you are our consumers. We recognize that it's one thing to be in a space that has a lot of knowledge and a lot of expertise in the field that Justin is in, but you also need someone that is living and breathing it every day, boots on the ground. I'm texting clients before Justin calls me on here. I'm getting messages from people that are asking me to sell their homes. So I know what your day and your life looks like, and I know what you're experiencing every day. And I can take all of the tools that I'm putting into my business and offer them to you as well.
See, that's part that's so fun for me, because as I said, I want to be closer to the industry. And it's been difficult for me with the different responsibilities that I've taken on of running a coaching company, of now leading a tech company, that I can't do both, right? I can't do that and be an agent, boots on the ground. And so this partnership now allows me to be so much more relevant for you all, allows Think Bigger Real Estate to be so much relevant, so much more valuable and relevant for you. So let's now go to really, what are we looking for, right? Now, for those of you that don't qualify, right? That don't meet any of the attributes that we're going to lay out here, keep listening to the podcast. We love you. We're grateful for you. We're going to continue to give away so much value, both in trainings as well as in podcasts. That is not changing. That will not stop. Now, there is a class of agents who, what we're saying is that if this resonates with you, we want you to schedule some time with us, because we believe that we have a partnership opportunity for you that is different than what you've heard about, experience in the past, that is going to allow you to have exactly what Stephanie said, which is successful business and significant life. And because that's what's at the passion of this whole project. So let's go through some of these attributes. Like when you think about people who would be the right fit to partner with Think Bigger Real Estate, what do you feel like stands out to you, Stephanie? I know we have a list here, so we've actually thought through this before, but let's talk through this so that those that are listening can say, got it. Okay. Yeah, I think that totally resonates with me.
Well, I think it's worth repeating that we're looking for people that want to live a life of significance. And what that looks like for me as an agent, and that I think most agents would resonate with, is we are currently chasing a transaction and we are on call for our clients, and we're here to offer service and value and impact our clients' lives. But what are we left with as the agent? We close that transaction, and then what is next? And what did we give up in order to achieve that? And some are better than others. And I know some days I'm good and some days I'm not good at this. I love what you say, Justin, about being the person that puts food on the table, but being the person that is at the table eating the food with the family or with your friends or with the people that are most important to you. That's what living a life of success and significance looks like. Yeah. So we're looking for people that want something more for their lives so that they can offer something more to the people that they care about the most.
I love how you said that, Stephanie, because I think one thing that we connected on early on, in fact, the very first podcast that I interviewed you on was called Moms in Real Estate. And you talked about how to do that, how to create a very successful business, and while also maintaining this most important role of being a spouse and being a mom. And I'm here to say that you can do both. And one of the things we discussed in that was the example of my wonderful mom, who's also, her name is also Stephanie. And she was such a role model for me growing up because she built a very successful business and she was at all the things that mattered. She was there for the things that really mattered most. And again, if you've ever felt like the type of business you've been building doesn't actually allow for that, it actually doesn't allow for you to be, to have both, then we're here to tell you that there are better models out there, right? There's a better path to go about doing this. Stephanie is an example of that, right? She really shows up big in her faith, in her family, in her fitness. She's well, her family's well, and she's built some incredible wealth. So yes, you can have it all, right? You can do both. And so I admire that. And I'm excited to show that. So really, if we were to say, who are we looking for, right? For agents with whom we can partner to help them to elevate and take it to another level, right? It's those who are seeking opportunity. Talk about that a little bit. I know that, you have a lot of agents come to you that want to be part of your team, your organization, and there's a different feel for those that are seeking opportunity versus those that are just seeking a commission, right?
Right. Yeah. Opportunity means doing something more, something bigger than what you already have in place. Not opportunity, like I want the opportunity to help 4 more families this year. I want the opportunity to close 4 more transactions. Those are good things, but seeking opportunity to really be an owner of your business, to really be someone that can be serving and impacting a whole nother community of people, and opportunity to do something more than you're already doing. That is what I was seeking. And that's what I found. And that's the reason for our partnership. And that's why we're looking for people that want that same level of partnership.
Love it. Yeah, that's really well said. Another really key attribute of those that we're looking to partner with are those who want to lead people. Now, you made the distinction of not managing people, right? We're not looking for people who just want to manage people. But like when I think of lead, it's people who actually lead by example, right? And they love their people. One thing that I've learned about the leaders who I want to follow are people who actually have a heart for the people that they lead. They're not just pawns in their game to get them to some goal, but they actually want to develop them into being leaders, right? We have a common mentor, Don Yoakum, who's just fabulous, who talks about being a leader of leaders. So if you're the type of person that wants to lead and develop other people into being leaders, potentially even bigger than you, then that's an attribute we're looking for. We're not just looking for people who want to just, have agents so they can make money off them. That's not our people. That's fine if that's you, but that's not our people, right? We want people who want to develop and truly lead people. Anything you want to add to that?
I know that I've experienced the best way for me to grow is to lead others. So I've always signed up for those opportunities to teach classes, to be on podcasts, to be in the presence of great people, because I know it makes me better. So when I am held accountable to a certain standard that I'm trying to grow other people to, I know that I'm always going to rise up. So that's what being a leader means for me. And that's what we're looking for, those people that want to be a leader because they want to be better for themselves too.
Well, I think it kind of directly connected to that are those who want to be thought leaders, right? Leading sometimes can look like one-on-one conversations of really pouring into people. Other times it can look like you're not afraid to step out and speak boldly, right?
Mhm.
You kind of shared that, that lesson with me, is that people who are willing to speak up and speak up on their behalf and their clients' behalf and the industry's behalf. And sometimes it's not always popular things to say, but it's the right thing to say. And we're looking for people and some people that we partner with will want to be on big stages of, audiences of 20,000 people, right? That's great. That's like, you're our people. And others who are just willing to have a bold conversation with someone in our organization. That's great too, right? But we want people who are willing to speak boldly on behalf of, what's the right thing.
Mhm.
We want people who want to prioritize a life of significance. What I mean by that is that they like, we call it the 4 F's, right? I'll thank Mark Charlton for helping me to summarize all this into 4 F's, which is faith, family, fitness, and finances. Now, I've talked on this before. Faith doesn't mean any particular denomination, right? We come from different denominations, okay? Similar faith altogether, but different denominations. And we're totally fine with that, right? For some of you, faith might not, that might not be your journey at this point. It might be that you have a charitable organization that's bigger than you and you're giving to that. And if that's you, that's great. We just want people who have that their a purpose is bigger than just closing transactions, right? They actually have something that's bigger than them. Like, those are our people. When we say family, right? You may or may not be married or have kids. Like, that's not the point. It's the point that you value relationships, right? You spoke to this earlier, and I thought it kind of, what does that mean to you when you say the word family? That really fits all kinds of different familial situations.
It's anyone that's in your life that is important to you. And it could be someone now or in the future. Family is having a relationship and even a loyalty to someone outside of yourself. That is family. Someone that you feel strongly about helping them have a better life, being there for them, and that they would be there for you. Everyone needs someone like that in their life.
Yeah, I mean, I think about people who pour deeply into nieces and nephews, or even parents, aging parents, like people that value people over things. You're our people, right? Mm-hmm. Fitness, again, obviously the obvious one is kind of physical fitness, but we're talking about mental fitness as well. Firsthand, Stephanie, building a very successful real estate team, that your mental fitness can take a toll, right?
Yes.
Talk to us about wanting to partner with people who value that.
And valuing it does not mean that you're perfect at it. Let me say that because you and I both have a sweet tooth.
Yes.
So I think that sometimes when we hear fitness, like, that athlete or someone that is just so disciplined, don't exclude yourself when we're saying fitness, because I would be excluded from
totally,
that.
Especially right after Easter. Yeah, I'm back.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But fitness and mental fitness, just making your physical and mental space a priority is, again, it's growing the person that grows the business that then helps grow the industry. And when we help grow the person, and you're a person that values being your best self, showing up as your best self all the time, as much as you can, and forgiving yourself when you don't, that's the kind of person that we want to be in alignment with.
Love it. And the last F is finance. Now, Stephanie's been very generous, inviting me to her home, like my family. And she has a wonderful life when it comes to rental property. She and her husband have an amazing partnership, and they've just learned how to really build wealth through real estate. And now sometimes you and I both know that there are people who make a lot of money and they spend a lot of money, and there's not much to show for it after the fact. And if you're somebody who says, look, I don't want to just be a part of an organization that teaches it, but I can't find good mentors around me who are living it. Think Bigger Real Estate is again designed for those people that actually want to create wealth, right? Not just the illusion of wealth through a fancy lifestyle, a fancy purse, fancy car, like people who actually know how to develop real wealth and actually build equity. And we have a whole conversation around this that we'd love to share with you. And that conversation, I think, is going to be actually the invitation that we have for any and all of you that are saying, you know what, I'm open to seeing if there's a way for me to partner with this group that makes sense and allows me to actually pursue the significance I've been putting on hold, where my kids see me on the phone more often than they see me looking into their eyes, where they see, like dad's always distracted with real estate as opposed to actually being here with us. Like if these things are resonating with you, we want to have a conversation with you. And if it's like, okay, Justin, when you drew that line in the sand, because the real estate industry drew its line in the sand, I'm also going to draw my line in the sand. Like I've got to make a change because the things in life that maybe matter more than real estate or that do matter more than real estate, maybe don't always show up that way in my life, right? This is our clarion call to you to be like, this is your chance to really reprioritize and be sure that you're building a business that supports the life, not just a business that is your life, right? There is a difference in that.
Yeah. I want to touch on that a little bit too, because I have, when I worked on defining what financial freedom looks like for me, everyone says financial freedom. Financial freedom means that I can just sit on a beach all day and money's flowing in. That is not financial freedom. I defined financial freedom when I was able to say, I can say yes. Whatever the financial need is, I have the ability to say yes. And when my daughter wants to start riding horses, and I know that's a very expensive hobby, I can say yes to that without having to pencil out the budget. And when I have a 14-year-old son that breaks his arm and needs surgery, you can say yes to that. But beyond that, when there's a need at my church or someone in my community that is struggling financially, whenever I am asked to contribute financially, I can always say yes. And when my husband is at a point where he doesn't want to be working the job that he doesn't love and he wants more time back, then we can say yes. We have a business opportunity that will allow you to get out of the grind. So when we say finance, I just really wanted to define that and see if that resonates with anyone that may say, yeah, that's financial freedom to me, is to be able to say yes when there's a need, when someone has a financial need, whether it's in my family, in my community, or someone that I don't even know, that I always have the ability to say yes.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Thank you. The next couple of points here, again, these are the people that we're looking to partner with. As you all know, there are countless agents in the marketplace. And we don't have the ability to pour into all of them. We just don't, right? And so we have to be selective in who we're partnering with. And so again, if you're just joining us, thank you for being here. You want to go back and listen because there's been some really great things that have been shared thus far. But we as we come to a little bit of a close here, again, I want to invite you, if any of this resonates with you, we should schedule some time to talk. Okay. But I want you to know that these are the things by which we qualify into whom we pour our time and our value, right? Because our families are most important to us, right? Stephanie has a beautiful family, 2 kiddos, and an awesome husband, and some pretty cool hobbies, by the way, too. My wife and I are crazy enough, right, to have 6 kiddos, and it's actually awesome. It's the absolute highlight of my life. But these things are super meaningful to us, and so we don't have the ability to work with everybody. We actually have to be selective, and so even if you think that you might want to have a new approach, a new mentorship, a new partnership in real estate, we should talk, right? And I think more than actually having accomplished all the things we're talking about here, it's about somebody who aspires to, right? Like if you desire to be the person that we're talking about, that may be even more credible to us than somebody who may already be there, right? So
I think that's so important to say, is that this is not a submit your resume and how many boxes do you check. We truly want to be in relationships with and in partnership with the people that say, I want that. I want that for my life. I want that for my family. I want that for my business. Not I've done it and come see how great I am. We're not looking for those people. We're looking for the people that say, how do I get more of that? I love what you guys are saying, and I want to be able to say that for myself someday too.
Yeah, and just in fact, the final thing I have down on our combined list of who we really want to work with is just good people. Like, frankly, people who are authentic, they're genuine, they're good. They're servant leaders. Like, they really want to not just have what we're describing, but they want to help other people have it, right? They want to really lead a life of contribution. And that's who we want to pour into, because we know that will have a ripple effect as that person then takes that torch and goes and lights up the lives of other people. And so that's super fun for us. So in closing, I want to thank you. We've had all kinds of great kind of views so far, and we're excited to have this kind of move into the podcast and get feedback. If you're looking for a way, you can reach out to Stephanie Peck. She's not hard to find online, and neither am I. So just reach out, say, hey, I just love to have a conversation to understand more what you guys are doing, to see how I might be able to benefit or contribute. That would be an awesome conversation that we'd love to have.
And we want more people like that to showcase here on the podcast, and to give you an audience that you can be saying the same thing and offering these same pieces of value to other people too. So reach out to us to just say, hey, I like what you're doing and I want to be a part of it. How can I be doing exactly what I'm doing right here, right? How can we be showcasing you?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Is that really think bigger as even a media group, right? Is that as we bring the right people to the table together, we'll be able to really put a spotlight on behalf of the industry and the consumers that we serve, that we are raising the bar, that we do have a group of agents who are uniquely positioned in this market to serve clients beyond what their even expectations are. And that's what we're thrilled about. And in the process, build some pretty significant lives. So anyway, I want to thank very much my new partner in crime. Stephanie's super excited to be able to partner with somebody who's so talented and such just a good person to the core. Like I said, both of our families are pretty thrilled about what we're building together and impacting a lot of lives. And I'm sure our kids will have lots of opportunities in this world that we're building as well. So pretty excited. Any final words before we wrap up here, Stephanie?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I think we said so much that I'm so excited about. I can't even think of what else I'd want to add, but just keep watching the podcast, because that's not going to change. We're still going to be showcasing agents that are amazing and doing amazing things that you all can learn from. And that's what we want to bring you, is more people that our audience can be learning from and be aspiring to.
I love it. All right, Stephanie, you know the last 3 words that I always end this episode with. I'm going to put you on the spot. Will you go ahead and kind of give us those final 3 words?
Go think bigger.
Let's do it, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you tuning in. Look forward to having a conversation with you